Shahrazad Ali sat down with the YouTube channel called I Never Knew TV and gave him a full interview. And in this clip of the interview, she talks about her relationship with Kevin Samuels and her thoughts about him. Let's get to it.
What I understand, you spoke to Kevin Samuels numerous times, and he acknowledged your work as being an inspiration for his views about relationships in our community, right? Did you agree with Kevin Samuels' approach?
No, I didn't agree with Kevin Samuels. He agreed with me, and he was always so respectful to me. And we were getting ready to do something though. We were going to do a big thing in Atlanta,
Wow.
and then he went and died. So I guess that wasn't supposed to happen.
Right.
But Kevin, the book woke him up, and it gave him the courage to discuss and address these things since I had did it and had put out the blueprint. And so he was a bit crude. I had told him I didn't think he would be successful because of how he was going about it. But he told it the way he saw it, and he was not successful. He was successful in his platform, getting hundreds of thousands of people, 300, 400, 500,000 people were, tuning in to hear him and his comments. But I don't know. I'm sure it benefited some of the women because it put us in check about what we think our overrated value is. Okay? And we think we have a greater value because we think that we are in charge of sex. Okay? And most men will just about do anything or go along with anything if they think that. Well, that's changing. Okay? That is not all completely the way it was. This is the thing I wanted to mention, and I don't usually talk about this. When I say that we're living in trends, the messenger talked about when we get out of control or too savage that we live in a beast life. Okay? Our younger people, that children of the future there, are living somewhat of a beast life. Because the new trend now, and I only know about this because they put it out there in the public on the Instagram and the internet and on the Facebook and everything. One of the things that scientists say separates the humans from the animals is that humans mate face to face. Animals mate from the rear. Well, it's popular now that that's what they're all doing, mating from the rear and doing all kind of other distasteful things and calling it sex. That's a bad sign. Okay. There's a different connection, as we all know, of face-to-face than another kind of way. People are getting hurt. They're choking each other. They're spitting in each other's mouth, doing all kind of things that would never ever have been considered as sexual pleasure. There's something wrong in that. I don't know how long they're going to be practicing that, and they're even doing oral sex in people's anus and their behinds, all kind of stuff, crazy stuff. And I'm talking about it because we need to know, and we need to start trying to teach something differently.
Sounds like Shahrazad Ali stumbled upon Sukihana and sexy rhythm disorders.
Okay? That's not no love. That's not no showing of love. That's something crazy. And the girls are accepting it. The young women are being choked or somebody spitting in their mouth. All kind of insanity things. And they calling it sex. That ain't no sex. I don't know what kind of beast life that is. But that's another trend that I hope passes because that's taking it to such a low level. Where can it go after that? And how long then will generations think that that's affection? So that's a very bad sign, I think. And that the young women think that that's natural, as I said, that they going along with this, and that the men are tiring really of them at all. They don't even want to look at them. And I'm concerned about that, and I think we all should be.
I just wanted to touch on the Kevin Samuels thing one more time. Do you believe he helped bring interest into your works with a new generation?
No, I don't think so. I think it just, it was so personally, individually critical. I don't think that ever helps. I think you have to be civilized in your asking and telling. And I don't think that that kind of overly critical criticism of an individual each person individually, no, that does not help, especially publicly. As I said, we already got low self-esteem. And that don't mean build us up on some false bravado. I don't mean that. But I mean, we just have to be more gentle with each other. We are damaged creatures.
I actually think that's a very fair point. And also like how when it comes with Shahrazad Ali, we can have varying opinions without having to bash. You know, she doesn't have to bash Mr. Samuels, even though she didn't agree with how he went along talking to women, the type of content that he made. You can disagree with someone without bashing them is my ultimate point.
Let me reword it. I apologize. I wanted to ask, do you think his work brought more attention to your book?
Absolutely. I would think
With the
so.
new generation, with the younger generation that probably
I
didn't
would
know
think
about
I'm
your
not
work.
sure. See, the other thing is, remember, we're in a society where they're teaching against reading.
Good point.
All right, everybody either want to hear it or see it. So reading is not as popular. So I'm not sure if it worked that way.
That's a good
My
point.
sales have been impacted on a lot of things. You know, that must be 50 books out called The Black Man's Guide and The Black Woman's Guide. You know, so many people have copied, you know, my title. So I'm not sure it worked that way. I'm still selling books, and he's still, I'm sure, there's still brothers out there now trying to take his place. So that's just, you know, the way that turned out. He got me, I think, more attention for me, toward me as a writer, as a sister, you know. But I know my place in the world, and I'm just a woman. That's not an insult. That's not a put down, but I am not a man. See, God is a man. You represent God. And I tell black women, the closest you may ever get to God is being with a black man, because he looks more like you than me. And we have so many things out here affecting our respect and image of self. That's the other reason black women don't want to believe that the black man is God, because they think the black man they know ain't nothing, and that y'all ain't nothing, so there ain't no way you could be God. In fact, you have some brothers who have surrendered, and they walking around talking about the black woman as God. Some more absurd, silly nonsense
When did
that
that
we
start?
waste our time on.
Cough, cough, Dr. Umar.
When did that start? This notion that the black woman was God.
Well, they just have surrendered. It can't be me, because I can't do nothing. I ain't got nothing and look like she more successful or whatever. And so we just decide then she must be God. That's what a man do. I don't know no man that would decide that. And I try to correct every brother I run into about that. They think they complimenting me by saying the black woman is God. But I'm not God, and I don't want that job. Okay, I got enough to do. I don't want that responsibility, and I don't have that power.
I wanted to touch on, before we get to the last two questions, I want to touch on something you said where you said black women, they don't see much in black men, right? And from personal experience, what I noticed that even if you're, I don't know these terms they use, highly performing, even if you're just a great guy, right? They still can't see the greatness in you.
They still what?
They still struggle to see the greatness in you if you're a great person.
Well, as I said, we've been all taught against each other so hard. We have to talk more. Now, that's one thing Kevin did. He got more black men speaking out about their dissatisfaction.
Absolutely.
Well, dissatisfaction produced change. One of the changes has been more of our men are going offshore seeking other women who they say can know how to act more like a woman.
Passport bros.
All right? It's like we'll tell a man, everything you do, why don't you act like a man? When you all have never challenged our womanhood, you all have never told us, why don't you act like a woman? It's not in you. But we'll tell you real quick, why don't you act like a man? Well, how do we know what a man act like? Most of us didn't have a father. We didn't have a model. We only saw fathers on television and in movies. And they gave us certain ideas that white people have that they themselves don't live up to. Their fatherhood is built on them being able to provide. And they kept you from being able to do that so that you could not have that. And that's another reason I say that we have to teach our men how to be fathers, how to deal with babies, how to change a diaper, how to do all of those things. You made that. That's your idea. So you need to be a part of how it's going to be reared and how to handle it. Many of our brothers now ending up with their children because many of our women, sometimes they have them, and then after 5 or 6 years, they decide, I don't want to be no parent no more. And so they giving the child away to the father. And then sometimes the fathers are trying to get their children, and you all have a very difficult time because the enemy don't want you to be able to do that, be involved with that, because they are so used to pretending that they're on our side. They're not on our side. The white woman is not on our side because we also think that she's nicer. It's better to deal with her. That's his mother. She's not on our side.
I was gonna ask.
That's his mama.
There is the idea floating around, guys. I know interracial dating for numerous reasons. So I'm not saying every black man with a white woman views the white woman as superior. I don't want to say that. I don't know if that's the case, so I won't say that publicly, right? But there is an idea circulating that white women are nicer than black women.
Well, they are, because they haven't gone through what we have. They don't have the history we have. Why shouldn't she be nice?
Yeah.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
And it's funny, they talked about this in this interview because this was something that was actually brought up recently in one of my live streams, just a few days ago. We weren't talking about specifically white women being nicer, but we talked about how white women were faster to approach a man and actually talk to a man, where I think the majority of black women won't approach a man whatsoever because a lot of them are taught that they're the prize, but then also they just refuse to do it. It's something that I think is the fear of a rejection, but that's what we were talking about, how white women were much faster to approach a man, approach a black man, and ask for his number and things like that. But in as much as I hate to admit it, I have to actually agree with the interviewer. In my personal experience, it does seem that white women are a bit more friendlier than black women. And that's coming from a dude who doesn't date white women. I'm just saying.
I remember one time I was in New Orleans doing a program, and we came out of this restaurant, and there was a white woman sitting on the curb, middle-aged white woman, and she was begging for change and everything. I said, I'm not giving you nothing. You a white woman. You got everything at your disposal that you could have in this country, and you sitting out here begging, and I told my party, don't give her nothing.
Yeah.
I said, y'all just need to get up and go
Let's go.
and clean yourself up and be white, and you'll get something going, all right? If not, if one of these stupid Negroes will get with you, but you got to clean up and do better than that.
Talk to her.
But, so she has certainly a better opportunity. Now, lower class white woman is not going to agree with that. She thinks she's having it as hard as black people. In fact, she thinks we the reason she having it hard, all right?
Right.
But it's really not like that. That white privilege that they talk about is real. That's very real. And we practice a little of it with each other on the lighter skins and the darker skins. You know, we ate, every idea fed us, we ate it.
Yep.
Even though it was all against self. They taught us to want that. And we still continuing to do that now. We have learned to practice the technology they practice, and so we have distrust of each other. You know, you gonna trick me, or I'm gonna trick you. Just all kind of nonsense that we cannot dig up out of it until we give them their God back. We can't do it. It's just impossible. You can't hold on to everything that they stand for and then say you're going to make a change, because everything that they stand for is designed to destroy us.
And using our standards based on their standards, I think, is also a big...
Because they're not the same. They're not the same. Your nature's not the same as his. We keep pretending that they're human and have the natural feelings of sympathy and everything. They don't have none of that. It's not in them. You have it in you. Nobody never saved nobody but you. And you have been beat down so discouraged that it's very difficult. But I want you to know that you will be the winner. You are the original man. God didn't make everybody and then make you. He made you first, and everybody was modeled after you on some level.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
That's real talk. That ain't to soothe your ego. These are actual facts to understand and accept. And I know it don't look like it now. I know some of the guys in the gutter. I know some of them in prison. Some of them on drugs. Some of them out here acting ignorant. Some of them pretending to be a woman. But that does not change the foundation of who you are and who made you, who is on your side, and who will pay the enemy back for what he has done to us.
Sure, you guys go subscribe to I Never Knew TV. They were the ones who had this interview with Shahrazad Ali. It's spot on. What do you guys think of the video? I think whenever I hear Shahrazad Ali speak, I shut up and listen, and I can hear her speak for hours. And again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I like the fact that she could agree with Mr. Sam, that obviously Mr. Samuels followed her teachings, but also she can disagree with how he went about his process and also how he made his content, but without disrespecting the man after he passed. But hey, what the hell do I know? I'm just a weed head talking on YouTube. You guys let me know what you think after party in the comments. It's Commander Theo Coop Pachuki.
Call me bitch.
Do better. Squad. Hold up.
Excuse me, bitches?